Hello everyone, my name is Hayden, and welcome back to My 2 Cents, my little bite-sized movie review series covering recently released movies. Sorry if I sound a bit congested at the moment, I'm currently going through a huge allergy flare-up, so I sound like crap. I just got back home from seeing the newly released Evil Dead Rise, the latest in the Evil Dead franchise, and I have got to say, it was a damn good movie. I am a huge fan of the Evil Dead series. I watch the movies, I love Bruce Campbell. As a matter of fact, yesterday, I just went to the Kansas City Bruce-O-Rama show where I got to see Bruce Campbell himself do a live presentation of Last Fan Standing, a Q&A, him just being a smartass, and I even got to watch Army of Darkness. Ain't that fucking cool? Anyways, so yeah, I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. I love these movies. So I was really looking forward to this new film. Now obviously I was upset that it doesn't have anything to do with the original Evil Dead series, but I can look past that, especially since I found out it was following in the footsteps of the remake, and I really enjoyed the remake. So yeah, the movie was good. I think it was pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie. I obviously wasn't quivering in fear, I don't really do that at movies. I haven't done that in movies for a very long time, so, but this movie definitely had some damn good tension and suspense, and some just really good scary moments. Of course, jump scares, and none of them got me, because I'm immune to the jump scare at this point. I'm fucking, I'm 18 years old. I've seen a bunch of horror movies. I'm immune to that stuff by now, so it's not really something that gets me. Anyways, the cast was always, gonna be something I questioned, because the Evil Dead franchise is inherently carried by Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams, so, I always am gonna question who's behind the talent of these films, and I have gotta say, wow, they put in some damn good performances. Mainly Lily Sullivan and Alyssa Sutherland as Beth and Ellie, respectively. They played two very strong female leads. They had really good chemistry. They played two sisters, and it was very nice seeing the two talk to each other, because again, they have very good chemistry. Their back and forths were really good. And when Ellie turned, I've got to say, damn good Deadite. Supporting actors like Morgan Davies as Danny, Gabriel Eccles as Bridget, and Neil Fisher as Cassie. Just some damn good acting all around, I have got to say. Just very, very good performances, very, very realistic fear. They were definitely scared, while the characters were definitely scared while witnessing what was happening. The opening of the film was pretty dope as well. It's unrelated to the actual plot. As a matter of fact, it technically takes place after the events of the movie have unfolded, and then the setup to the opening is at the very end of the movie. It was a really cool opening with a couple of really good kills, if I'm being honest with you, and the title card was absolutely fantastic. This possessed girl rises out of the lake, and in the background, coming up from behind hills and mountains and shit, is the title card, Evil Dead Rise. It was actually kind of goofy, but pretty badass, if I'm being honest with you. Basic plot rundown is that this family of folks, they end up getting trapped in a high-rise apartment building. The kid Danny reads from the Necronomicon he found in a bank vault that was underneath their apartment building, summons the Deadites, it possesses their mom, and the Deadite infection kind of just goes around the main cast, kind of like in any other Evil Dead movie, essentially. There were, of course, plenty of nods and Easter eggs and references to the original Evil Dead series, which, massive respect there, gotta love it. Obviously, I'm not gonna talk about them a whole lot. I don't try to delve into spoilers too much, but, I do. Another aspect of the movie that I actually really liked was the fact that there were a lot of little setups in the movie that were eventually paid off. Now the distance between the setup and the payoff was different, so at times it was a little bit oh, really? Wow, I couldn't have guessed that. Sometimes the setup and the payoff were minutes apart, but other times, the setup and the payoff were spaced out, pretty significantly. It was actually a pretty cool little thing that the movie did. I liked it. It had me going, haha, look at that. They did the funny. The practical effects in the movie, when an Evil Dead project is coming out, I'm always curious how the gore effects are going to be, because Evil Dead, from the very beginning, has always been a very violent horror franchise. Very heavy amounts of gore, and I gotta say, this movie did not disappoint. There was plenty of the good old-fashioned red stuff, plenty of dismemberment. It was beautiful. There's a part where I think it was possessed Bridget eats glass, and you could see the glass poking out of her neck. That was really cool. There's a part where one of the guys gets his eyeball eaten out, and then the deadite mom spits it into the mouth of another dude. What else was there? At the end of the movie, the three main deadites, the mom, Bridget, and Danny deadites, all fuse together into this fucking horrifying amalgamation of deadites, and they crawl around and eventually get a chainsaw rammed into it because Evil Dead movie, and then it gets thrown into a wood chipper and it sprays blood and guts and viscera everywhere. It was fantastic. Oh, it was beautiful. Had me pumping my fists in the air like a total sociopath. Jesus, I must look like a lunatic to anyone in the theater. The music was on point. Stephen McKeon, I think is his name, did an absolute job. The music is often timed to the movements of mainly the deadites. So oftentimes the deadite will take an exaggerated, creepy step, and the music cue will go dun or something like that. It was very, very beautiful, honestly, in a very creepy sort of way. I loved it. The fact that the entire film takes place in one standard set piece, like most Evil Dead movies, is really cool. I'm glad they have that restraint. But also the fact that the location itself is, chock full of possibilities. The fact that they're stuck on the 13th floor of this high-rise apartment building. The stairs have been knocked out from an earthquake. The elevator is broken. There's just such a good semblance of hopelessness and isolation in a way. And the fact that everyone around them slowly gets picked off one by one or possessed, and then it's eventually down to left down to Cassie and Beth. Sorry, it's Cassie and Beth. Getting my actors and characters mixed up. The movie's still fresh in my mind, please forgive me. But eventually when it's down to the little kid and her aunt, who's just trying to fend off all these demons, there's just always a sense of hopelessness in these movies, and it's great. It feels like the original Night of the Living Dead, for Christ's sake. It was a very thrilling movie as well. Once the action picks up, very few points does it slow down, and I greatly respect that. Keeping the action going, but not in a way that feels like pandering, because there are slow moments in between. There are moments where things die down a bit, but it's not in a calming way. It's in a way that builds more tension, and that's very smart directing on a part of the director. Honestly, as a whole, I'm not going to do too much into it more, because I'm trying to keep these as reviews of just, hey, I liked this movie. You guys should go see it. But honestly, Evil Dead Rise, very good follow-up to the Evil Dead films. I'm not exactly praying that the film continues this way, but I am hoping that the Evil Dead franchise does continue. But I'll still always want my main man Bruce back. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, Evil Dead Rise has some minor character issues, honestly. Some underdeveloped characters. Sometimes the pacing can be a bit too fast. It blows through things too quickly. And honestly, some of the characters feel rather wasted. But honestly, a solid 8 out of 10 movie. That's my solid score I'm going to give this movie. If you're an Evil Dead fan, I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. This has been my 2 cents. Thank you very much for watching, and have a blessed day.